Ladies and gentlemen, we are live with another broadcast in the Roofing on the Rise studios, where we bring you innovation and education in today's marketplace. Today and every day, we are sponsored by Chad T. Wilson Law Firm. And when the insurance denies, delays, and defends their position, reach out to me. I will get you in contact with the right people over at Chad T. Wilson Law Firm. They are there to make sure that your clients get taken care of with their insurance claims. Super, super important. Today and every day, we have an awesome guest. And today will be no different. Today, we have another amazing guest. How are you doing today, bro?
What's up, brother, man? Thanks for being here. I'm honored.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, bro, we were just talking a little bit about your life and the decisions that you made, et cetera. And really, it's amazing to be able to bring you on. And number two, your beard is on point, dog. Like, woo! Tell me
the commitment and dedication. Come on.
Before you tell me about yourself, tell me about your beard.
It's pampered with oil and lotion. I beard wash it regularly. I wash my beard more than my hair and the rest of my body. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. You can be the judge. It's cared for. It's vintage. It's like 4 years old. So I don't know if that's really vintage, but I literally had facial hair since I was like 17 because I was in business. And I wanted people, I was like business, and I wanted people to think I was older, but it was always like little and like very well kept, and like people care. And now I'm like, I look like a squirrel hunter from West Virginia.
I think it's an awesome look. It's almost Viking-ish. You've got that red in the beard. Yes. You've got hair, but if you shave that, it'd be straight like Valhalla, bro. Like,
wash it. I actually have pictures in front of me with every sign that says Valhalla anywhere I can find it.
Really?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about yourself. What's your name? Where are you from? And what do you do?
All right. So my name is Michael Fabber. I'm originally from New York, but lived all over the place. Live in Delaware now because the only place that's in Ware. Most people don't know where it is. It's its own state. It's actually the first one for us history buffs. Very little, right? Very little.
It's like right next to Connecticut.
That's why I fit right in. It's because it's very little. Thank you. Here all day. Now we help business owners, empowering entrepreneurs, the ones that want to make a world a better place, leave a legacy, and live the life to desire. That's who we help. We help them do messaging to attract millions of people to them, and dollars too, if you want that. We hold events all over the world. We have a mastermind of 70 plus high-end empowering business minds. We have courses, all the good stuff. All right, I don't want to get into all that boring stuff, but I love our events and our mastermind as well. I'll talk highly about them. Everything else, I'm like, bah. All right, I'll throw it out.
I love that.
But yeah, dude, really, I just try to talk to people because a lot of times belief is one of the things that hold us back. And I think, and I think you know this from your success. It's like a deeper form of the thing. I don't even like to call it belief. In order to make it is like Nipsey Hussle said it best. I don't know if you know Nipsey Hussle. That's my dude. He said it's like when you take a step, you don't go, man, I really believe this ground's going to hold me. No, you take a step like you know that ground's going to hold you. You know nothing about that ground, nothing underneath it, but you take that step like you know that ground is yours. And I think when we operate in our purpose like that, magic happens, brother.
Dude, I don't know if Mayweather took it from Nipsey or not, but I met Mayweather about 4 years ago.
Yes, sir.
Something like that. And when I sat down with him, I just listened the entire time, but he looked at me and he said, "Do you have any questions?" And that was my time to speak to a billionaire, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, thank God for my wife. Big shout out to my wife, Sarah. She helped me like formulate maybe some of the things that I wanted to talk about. The main thing, though, I said, this was it. The one question I asked. As a aspiring, because I'm not a millionaire, but I'm an aspiring millionaire, what's what would you suggest for me? What advice would you give to me? And he said, treat everything in life as stepping stones. And if one stone flips over when you step on it, keep moving. Keep moving. You may get a little wet, but keep moving. Right. And that just is, resounded in me since then. It's just, I can't forget that. And it's so simple, but so deep.
Mm-hmm.
So I vibe with that. I love that. So, tell me a little bit. You tell me about like some decisions that you made that maybe weren't the best decisions in life. Could you expound on that?
I don't know if I looked the part, but I look like someone that's made some wrong decisions, right? I mean, there was a time in my life I was having the drugs, I was having the crime. So I didn't have to be like, I didn't come from the wrong part of the tracks. I don't have that story. All right. Like I didn't come from like a house where no one cared or no one loved me and people were absent. Like I didn't have that. My mom's an amazing person. Still around. She's a pisser. She wrote a book called Grown Up Mafia, I think. It's hilarious. I had to take her to a family gathering where it was at the mob museum, and it was like she was naming the people on the wall, and the people in the mob museum were like, and I was like, yeah, it's fine. Like this is growing up. This is her life. Right?
Wow.
Crazy. Right?
Wow, that's cool, but crazy.
Right? Yeah, it's like crazy and cool and crazy and cool.
Yeah.
And my dad, brilliant. My mom has 2 doctorates. It's funny. She went to school for like 12 years and has 2 doctorates degree. I went to school for 18 years and have 0 degrees. I don't know who did it better or worse, whatever. You can pick, but we both went. we both were there. My dad has multiple masters. He was the head of port and terminals in New York City, built up the waterfront, literally beat up Donald Trump. Just a fun story. So I didn't have to have it difficult. Like I could have had it easy.
Wait. He beat up Trump?
Yep. Yeah, my dad beat up Trump.
Okay. You're gonna have
4 years ago.
Okay. From your dad's perspective, okay.
Yeah.
Passed down to you. Tell me that story, please.
No, right. So my dad has had port and terminals in New York City. So he was responsible for there's a place called the Waterfront. It's a nice area of the city, right? And everybody wanted the contracts to build there, right? Because they knew that was going to be money. Yeah. Well, Trump was one of them that really wanted them. And my dad did not pick his company. So he came in to threaten my dad. And I know you don't know my dad, but he wasn't a dude you threaten. Right? Like my dad didn't say much. He was a big action taker guy. And he definitely stood his ground at all times and made sure you knew he was. Like you were going to have to go through him kind of thing. It wasn't going to go around. He wasn't going to let you go.
Yeah.
I always said the only person that ever beat me was my dad. No, okay. Yes, I was hoping I got another one. But so he walked in, threatened my dad a little bit. My dad was like, "What did you just say?" And he's like, "You heard me," kind of thing. So my dad got up around his desk, punched him in the face, grabbed him by his throat, pinned him up against the wall, and said, "If you ever say something like that to me again, I'll rip your head off and shit down your throat." Donald Trump said he was going to ruin him, and he did a very good job. He went hard at my dad. He connected with my dad to organized crime. My dad got sequestered by the grand jury in New York.
Question was because the book was Growing Up Mafia Crime Family, right? Okay, so was he actually involved? Like, was he implicated for that? You
could never see my dad was in it. Nothing. I mean, there was no evidence in court. I would say that. He was very connected to some people that were extremely involved. Yeah. My mom's side of our family was heavily involved. There's people that there's articles, books, stories about. Did some crazy things, some horrible things. But us, man, we were insulated. Like
that's how construction operates in the Northeast. If anyone that's watching does not know, well, okay, not the whole Northeast. But
a lot of it.
When you get into New York, it gets real gangster. And man, I just
Jersey,
yeah, well, Fairfield really, like Fairfield,
PA.
Connecticut, when you get into Fairfield and on, like right there, right before you start get into the boroughs, you're in that area.
Mhm.
It's difficult. I know firsthand because I roofed millions of dollars worth of roofs in Connecticut and Massachusetts. Love the area. Would not do any business in New York City though. Like as a builder, unless I was connected with
Mhm.
some mob ties, not to be confused with mob ties of Houston. Uh, I,
I was like, nice.
you know, if you don't have that, then you're really not going to get what you want. Or if you do, if you're good enough, which some of your companies are really, really, really good above board companies. But once you get that contract, it's going to get dirty, buddy. Just
Yeah,
saying.
good luck. Yeah, good luck.
Just
All
saying.
right, 100%. And it branched all the way into like Scranton, PA. Like people that were getting bids there were everybody had it was connected. So, so I grew up. I was like I rode a kick and go. Like I was insulated, man.
Yeah.
I was well protected. All right. And at 10 years old, that whole changed. Like the ABC after school special changed. My brother's one of the 22 that served the country that took his own life. That happened in the early 90s. And that was the first time like I ever experienced anything like that, right? Like, or knew that was like life, right? And it destroyed our family dynamics. The family I knew where everybody came over for all the holidays was over, right? And that was done. And men in my family, we were not hurt. We were angry, right? Because that's masculine, right? So from 10 years old to 20, I was angry. I was in and out of juvie, in and out of court, in and out of jail. At 20 years old, I don't know what you believe, and it's not a game changer either way, right? I always say like I don't care what you call it. You can call it tree, dirt, God, universe, source, Odin. Like I don't give a damn, right? Allah, I don't care what you call it. It's all the same, right? It's just a different name. And so I don't get into that conversation, but whatever it is that you believe, I believe it like whispers.
I believe in God. You know,
Cool. Let's go, God.
I'm a man of faith, so
yeah, me too, brother. I just don't try to tell anyone else theirs.
No, hey, I get that. You know, if you believe in a doorknob,
Yeah.
The episode prior to this, we're talking about sobriety, and you know, part of that is believing in a higher, you know, greater than yourself, a power higher, greater than yourself.
Yes, sir.
And so, you know, it's like if you in the guys old in sobriety, they'll tell you they're like, you can believe in this here doorknob if you want to, son, but you just gotta believe in something bigger than yourself, all right? That'll get you through the day. And
Right.
I'm mocking that now, but like it really is like if you'll just believe in something, like it'll get you through it. And I
we
personally
talked about belief.
Jesus Christ. So anyhow,
Right.
one man of faith.
So I used to argue all the time about calling it God.
Yeah.
And finally, some old school guy was like, "Yo, bro, do you really believe in God?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right. Do you believe God's everything?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, cool. Then it doesn't matter what they call him because it's God then." I was like, "Oh, good point." Like, it's like, "You're right. This is a dumb argument. Call it whatever you want. It's God." All right. So it was that's kind of where I go with it. So I'm like, "Yeah, call it whatever you want. Cool. We just have to be on the same page and we know what we're talking about." All right, cool. That's God to me. That's it to you. Right? I think they whisper to you, it whispers to you, and then it gets louder and louder and louder to try to get your attention to know this isn't your path, right? And at 20, I had a really like loud scream where it was like, this isn't your path. And if you don't do something soon, you're not going to be able to do something. I was facing 20 plus years in jail. I got shot at, and I found I was going to be a dad in like the same week, right? And I beat that case that week too, and it was hilarious. I beat it because my dad, who wasn't even alive at the time, the work he did before he died actually was the thing that ended up making me win that case. I mean, my dad did not have a great relationship after from my teenage years. So I did what anyone would do, man. I packed up and I moved to Delaware because who the hell gets in trouble in Delaware? And I opened a beach bar and grill at 20 years old. Right? Right? Yeah. Fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hell of a place to do it. I mean,
everybody does that.
You're like the smallest state in the union, I think.
Second, Rhode Island.
Is it? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Rhode Island. Rhode Island's freaking
Yeah.
dude. Delaware's really pretty though. So like,
Thank you.
here's the thing though, is all the Northeast, like, all the stories that were told from Columbus and written down and put, like all that was about the Northeast. They did not talk about Texas.
No.
I love it. This is my state. This is
Texas dope.
Texas born, Texas bred. And when I die, I'll be Texas dead.
All right,
but
yes, sir.
The Northeast has this grandeur, this beauty, especially in the fall. Oh, the mountains of West
the colors. Come on.
Even in Massachusetts, I mean, the border of Massachusetts and Connecticut, there's a lake with a waterfall, and just there's cliffs with water that comes out of it, and it gets frozen, and while it's freezing, some of the water drips. So it's just the most, like, I could explain it to you, but unless you go, I mean, you'll never be able to experience it. It's absolutely gorgeous. I know you know what I'm talking about, but those that are watching, if you haven't been in the Northeast, take a trip. One thing I didn't do was I didn't go to Salem, and I really wanted to go to Salem while I was up there, but I could do that later.
Yes, sir. Come on up. Go hang out.
So you open up a beach bar and grill.
Yes, sir.
How long did you do that? Are you still doing that?
No. We had that 4 or 5 years. It burnt down. I learned a valuable lesson: have proper insurance or less expensive stuff. All right, so got banged over the head.
Man, and if you needed to, you could have called Chad T. Wilson Law Firm.
I know. I wish I knew them then, brother. If we only did this like 20 years ago, bro.
So it burned down. You didn't have any insurance.
No proper insurance. We got a little bit, but lost a bunch.
So what happens next?
So really, I opened up a bunch of different businesses, right? So I had the restaurant and bar. I had a landscaping company called Kiss My Grass. All right, the restaurant, the KMG Landscaping, still got that sucker, killing it. We do landscape and property management. I always built a business and then built businesses off that business because I figured I knew the space and knew the people.
Absolutely.
All right, yes, sir. And I've when I was younger, I was a grinder, bro. I would just work.
Yeah.
Right. Like you weren't going to outwork me. Like for the first quote ever in this space was, every day, outwork everyone every day. Right. I was like, little did I know, right? Like how stupid that was. But that was my mindset was, I'm just going to outwork you.
Yeah.
Right. Like I don't care how smart you are. That doesn't make you be able to outwork me. Right. But now I know like it does help you outwork somebody if you're smarter. But I digress. Things I didn't know at the time. Right. So I had these other businesses. I had a hell of a bad run. The restaurant burned down like 06, and then I bought these 2 houses at the end of 06, 07, and then the housing market collapses. All right, so it's like I took like loss and then loss and then loss. My mom wanted to retire. She wanted to have a gift basket store. I bought this spot in a mall and made a gift basket store. Really unoriginal name. Gift Baskets Are Us. All right. Yeah.
Dude, why are you not a branding expert? How are you not a fucking marketer, dude? Like,
I'm a marketer, but it's amazing, right? It was fucking classic.
All his names are all like really solid, like Kiss My Grass.
Come on. The food trucks we have, Truck It food trucks.
Oh.
Truck It. Come on.
Okay, so I'm a serial entrepreneur as well. My father is as well.
Yes, sir.
I have 2 companies that are about to be opened with a local celebrity. I'll tell you what I'm going to be doing outside of this because I'm excited about it. I haven't said anything about it. I haven't released anything about it. And so I I'd love to hear your input on some of the names that we have because you've got some fucking witty names, dude.
Thank you, brother.
Absolutely. Credit where credit is due. Like you got some good stuff, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So you've done just about everything that you could do in the Northeast. You know, man, have you been homeless?
Well, I mean, I was by choice.
Okay. All right. Well, most homeless are by choice, but like
facts.
that's the only thing. Like you got some pretty deep stuff there. I mean, in and out of institutions and into crime, just
My
not
rock bottom didn't happen yet at that point.
like so. Oh, okay. What's rock bottom?
2011 was rock bottom for me.
What happened?
But also birthed like everything of meaning to me, to a degree. All right. So I'm the epitome of fake. All right. All the way to 2011. I'm the epitome of fake. Okay. And that's why I talk so much trash about fake people. Yeah. I don't know if you see me on Facebook, but I talk a lot of trash. I'll set the scene so you can make fun of me really, really good. All right. This isn't even the best part. I'll just start with this. My favorite car that I had at that time was a white Cadillac Escalade. Okay. We called it Kane because I was very mature. All right. All right. It's all tinted out. I have 22-inch spinners on it. All right, let's go.
Ride no spinners.
Yes, sir. 22 inches. All right. Let's go. Right. I have 6 12-inch subwoofers in the back. It's an uncomfortable ride rattling down the street. It's fine on spinners. Not even the worst part. I get out. I'm wearing Converse velour suits, matching Converse velour suits every day. I had 10 of them. I'd wear 10 days straight, wash them 10 days straight. Right? Gets better. I had matching Timberlands for each pair, the color of the Converse. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. With a matching Kango hat. Let's go. I didn't have a friend good enough to be like, bro, you are ridiculous.
I had one. Thank God I had one when I was like 13. I actually got locked up. Bro, same shit. Not the same, but like different, a little different.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Keep going. I'm listening.
No.
I'm doing this because I've lived some of this, right? Like, all right, keep going.
So I'm the epitome of fake, man. And I'm in my yard. I bought the biggest house in the back of this like development that like you were supposed to be somebody to be in.
Yeah.
All right. So just so people think I was somebody, because I did, clearly. All right. I did everything for people to think I was something because I wasn't it. I didn't want them to know I wasn't it. So I'm hitting fake golf balls in my yard, like little plastic golf balls. I don't know if you play golf or not, but hitting those little balls, they don't make me better. I still suck.
Yeah, the rubber ones are so much better. But
I gotta get those. I had the plastic ones; they do nothing for you. Right? Just waste time.
Okay.
So I'm hitting these golf balls in my yard.
Great relationship right here. I feel
it. We got things to do, brother. Like rubber golf balls and velour suits.
No.
You're in my next ad. We're gonna do velour suits and hitting golf balls, and then talk trash. One of my best friends called me. His name's Matt Carter. And he's like, Mike, I had a fight with my wife. I don't know what to do. And I'm like, welcome to marriage, brother. Right? Like, go home, work it out.
Right.
And I'm not even paying attention. I'm like this, swinging with one hand. Right. And he's talking. He's like, yeah, I don't know. I really messed up. I'm like, man, we all do. Like, just go home and talk it out, man. That's the best you can do. Just go home and talk it out. All right. Next morning, I wake up, someone pounding on my door. And I mean, I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, not a lot of people will pound on my door. I used to have an anger problem. Right? Like, don't do this. I might snap, right? I have a flashback.
For me, nobody else pounded on the door, dog.
Yeah, don't be pounding on the door here, brother. Yeah, easy. All right. I'll call my relatives. No, okay. So I walk out and it's my buddy's wife. Right. And I'm like, oh no. All right. Now I went from like, I'm tough, walking real hard, to like, I'm the biggest baby on earth. Hey, how are you? Right. It's nice to see you here. Right. And she's like, have you seen Matt? I'm like, No, he called me yesterday. I haven't seen him. He's like, I don't know where he's at. He left work and he left an alarming message on my phone. I'm like, oh, all right, I'll go look for him. All right, like he's probably at the batting cages, or we play a lot of sports coming up. Like when you're past your prime, but you don't want to give up, so you play like soccer, softball, and all that crap. YMCA league basketball. You start as a kid, you end there as an adult, right?
Right.
What happens in between, it's up to you. So we did all that stuff. So I was like, oh, he's probably out on the courts or the batting cages or something. I'll just go check him out. So drove there, went there. We go to the beach a lot because we live near the beach. So went to the boardwalk, saw if he was there. Went a couple. Then it gets later in the day. I went to a couple bar spots that I know we hang out, watch the games at. Wasn't there. We had an open gym that night. I went up to open gym to see if he was there or wasn't. I was like, man, I looked for this dude for like 14 hours. Called people from out of town that I know we both know, and was like, yo, if he's with you and just doesn't want to be known, just give me some kind of code name, like butterflies fly at night, like something. All right.
Right.
So I know. All right. I made a Facebook post. Yo, Carter owes me $20. Anybody seen him? Let me know so I can go get him. All right. Anything to just get this dude where he was. And nothing. 3 a.m. I'm like, I'm going to sleep for a little bit. I get up in the next day. The state troopers come to me and they're like, we found Matt. I'm like, oh, thank God. And they're like, he shot himself about half a mile down the road in his car, and we found him in his car.
Oh,
all right. And yeah, that's when like my like fake reality crumbled.
Oh my gosh, I got the chills. Oh my God.
I became heavy again into drugs and pills more so. Became a homicidal wreck for a little while. I tried to kill myself in Lewis Beach. Gun wouldn't go off.
Thank God.
And I remember, right? Yeah, I don't know. Facts. I don't think anyone's ever said that after I said that. Nice. First person. You like me, bro. No. Something personal growth tape I heard once, and it said, you're out there somewhere. You just got to go find yourself. At this moment, I took that literal.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're fucking right.
Yeah.
I'm somewhere out there. Right. And I just disappeared. I didn't want anyone to find me. I didn't take a car. I just hitchhiked across America. And I looked behind every tree and every bush, under every rock, couldn't find me. Ended up in Mobile, Alabama. I'm sure there's some really nice parts in Mobile, Alabama. I just wasn't in it.
Right. I went to school there.
Nice.
I'll attest that Mobile, Alabama is not a pretty spot. I like, when I was a kid, I liked to like every now and then run into the pool. If my family members I didn't have one, but my family's had one, and I'd take my drawers off and just jump naked. You know what I mean? Like, it's free. I was like, America.
Yeah, America.
And there was a gator in the bottom of my pool, and my aunt's pool, not mine, but yeah, no, I'm good with Mobile, Alabama. Anyway, sorry.
No, don't be. We have men's retreats in Florida every year. That are like 20 some odd dudes come together that are like doing some things and just recharge, reunite, connect, right? Like talk, grow. And every time I'm like, someone check the pool and see if there's a gator in it. And they're like, dude, there's a whole thing around. Make sure no gators get it. I'm like, yeah, I don't trust that flimsy netting that I have broken out of myself.
Well, how did you get out of that funk after your friend took his life, and you went through that addiction spiral? What pulled you out of that? What's something that somebody that's watching can say, a glimmer of hope? Like what's the hope? Where's the hope?
Well, one, I got to give a lot of credit to my daughter. Reason why I chose to get out of the life I was in was because of my daughter, and the reason why I chose not to pull that trigger or try again was because of my daughter. So I'll say that first. But that's not the thing I would tell somebody for their life.
Right.
I was just lucky for that, for me, for those times before I had this thing. And that thing I say is purpose.
Yeah, that's big.
When I was missing purpose, I filled it with a bunch of things that did not fulfill me. So then I kept looking for what it was. Was it more drugs? Was it more booze? Was it more partying? Was it more expensive stuff? Was it more material, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? I say we're all addicts. It's just, what are we addicted to at the time? Is it serving us or not? Now I'm a personal growth addict. I love personal growth, man. I go to events all the time, speak at events, go to attend, go to masterminds. I'll do it. Like I'm in, all about growing, getting better, work my mind for the positive. Let's go. All right. So for me, it was that I started to look for purpose. And I knew my purpose couldn't be get high.
Yeah.
Right. Because purpose comes from something bigger than us.
Yeah.
Getting high was for me. Right. Not for what was bigger than me.
Yes.
Right. So I came back from Delaware after being at the Mobile Inn. Right. And came back to Delaware, kicked in the door of one of my best friend's house, Alex McClure. And he's like, what the? He's like, are you high? And I was like, I've never been more sober, man. I've been traveling without money for a month. I'm back. He's like, yeah, I'm glad you're not dead. I'm like, me too. And we're going to change the world. He's like, oh my God, you must be high. I was like, no, seriously, we're going to change the world. He's like, who the hell changes the world? I'm like, people like us. He's like, how are we going to do that? I'm like, a person at a time. Like, I don't have all the answers right now. But I'm committed to finding them.
Yeah.
All right. And he thought I was an ass clown. He was like, yeah, sure, buddy. And then a lot of my studies have been human behavior. I'm a big nerd. Right. Like I love human behavior, what makes human tick. Right. The better we know that, the better we can work through a lot of things and situations and communicate, etc. So I started looking into coaching a lot because I was in the mental health space for a while, and I was like, dude, we get stuck in the past. I feel in mental health sometimes. Yeah. Right. And I'm like, we got to work towards something too. So I got in the coaching space, even though I make fun of the coaching space like nonstop. But I was like, oh my God, like I figured it out. I know how we're going to help people. And I got my buddy, Alex, and I was like, get in the car with me. And we went to a place called Hollywood Diner. It's in Dover, Delaware, right near Bobby J. But went in, I was like, yo, I'm going to find someone in here and we're going to fix their biggest problem. And he was like, let's not do it, Mike. And I was like, no, just watch. And I went in, there's a big ass dude on the counter wearing a flannel shirt that could fit all of us. Right. And I'm like, that's my guy. Right. And walk up to him like, sir, my name is Michael Fabber. And I ask you, what's your biggest problem? Because we're going to solve it right now together. No lie, mid-bite, this guy's like, you. All right, takes a bite of his food. And I was like, thank you very much, sir. You have a great day. Walked away, looked at Alex. I said, one down, brother. All right, let's go. And that was literally the beginning of this thing now that is here 13 years later, which is called Unleash You Now, but it was really, it was originally CMF. And dude, this is my love project.
Dude, that is freaking beautiful. God, that is absolutely amazing. We are unfortunately out of time, but we've got to do this again because I know there's so much more that we could dig into and that people could get something out of. Your story is extremely inspiring. I'm super glad that we took the time to get together today. I apologize, I was a little late. My my dog attacked me. I don't. Yeah, it was weird. Like I was going for my charger, and like he was getting up, so I like stepped back, and then I like reached around, and he just went out after me. So he's old. I think he's getting senile. So hey, it is what it is. Rolling with the
I got 16 dogs. I get it.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a live stream. We have Mr. Fabian with us that has absolutely brought the amazing world of going from a crime family, quote unquote, to into a coaching life and career, like completely changing from a life of crime and drugs and addiction to living a life of solving problems and helping other people. Thank you so much for coming on, bro. This was enlightening. Absolutely enlightening.
It's one of the best things I ever heard someone say. I don't know if it's good or bad, but it was definitely enlightening. Yeah. This could be a train wreck. This could be a hit, but it was enlightening nonetheless.
I think that people are going to love this episode. And if you're watching, and you've got an insurance claim and you've been dealing with the insurance company and they're just denying and delaying and deflecting, reach out to me, because that's what they like to do. They like to deny, delay, and defend their position. And Chad T. Wilson Law Firm is there to take care of you and your clients and make sure that the insurance company pays what they're supposed to pay. So reach out. Your clients deserve Chad T. Wilson Law Firm. Telephone number is 210-919-8987. Again, 210-919-8987. You guys have a blessed and wonderful